And welcome back to the STB Season 17 Tier 2 Championship. We are back again tonight, and we head to the final round before the break. Drivers will have a week off next week, and tonight we are in Spain at the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya. A track that a lot of drivers know very, very well. Obviously pre-season testing for a very long time now. So yeah, drivers will definitely have a lot of experience around this one. But yeah, I'm joined tonight again by F1 Gravity in the commentary box. Lovely to have you, Gravity. How are you?
Hello there. I'm pretty good. I'm interested to see how this race is going to go down.
Yeah, I think although Spain in real life is definitely one that doesn't always give us the best races. I do think on this game there's a lot more opportunity to overtake. It's not so hard to follow through the high speed. So yeah, hopefully it will give us a good race. The Tier 1 race yesterday was quite good, I think. Yeah, a lot of action down the field. We had a late safety car, which sort of threw the order a bit out the window. But yeah, we've got a few a different selection of drivers from last week. We got Victor McFly. He is a Tier 1 reserve. He's jumped in for Tier 2 tonight. We've also got Emerald Cinefloat. He's back again tonight. Missed a couple of races due to other commitments. So it'll be interesting to see what those guys can do. I definitely think they have very good pace. So we'll be able to see if they can challenge or not. Yeah, I think Victor McFly especially will be one who should be challenging.
It'll be interesting to see how many drivers opt for the medium tyres in qualifying. As we see Nuvolari going on to a lap on softs.
The strategy will be very, very important. I think everybody's on a set of softs at the moment. Not everybody's out of the pits, but yeah, Pitbull's the first one to come and start his lap. And yeah, everybody's on a set of softs on their out laps at the moment, which is surprising to me.
Well, just because they're on a set of softs doesn't necessarily mean they're going to complete the lap. They just want to get some running in.
That is true, yeah.
Because on this game,
I don't think they're expecting rain though. Otherwise everybody would be out on a set of mediums.
Yeah, on this game, if you choose the harder tyre strategy, it doesn't give you a set of hards in qualifying, as it did in the last game.
Yeah, which is obviously quite frustrating for the drivers as well, because they don't want to be driving around on a set of softs. We see Pitbull make a big mistake beginning of the third sector there. It's a very difficult corner to get right. You've got to take a big chunk of curb if you want to get the maximum out of your lap, but it can throw the car completely off the track. Yeah, Pitbull comes in, doesn't finish his lap. I'd imagine Nuvolari will do the same. Yeah, he's going around, but he is lifted completely off for the final corner, so I think most of them are just getting a bit of a warm-up.
Callum Frampton, on the other hand, going straight out on a set of mediums.
He is, yeah. He's the only driver to do so in these early stages. He's tried his lap, so we'll keep an eye on him. He's probably the only one that's going to be setting a representative time. Enzo sets a 16.2 on softs, so I think he's backed off through the latter stage of the lap. Matt the same there on a 17 flat, so yeah, early stages just sort of a warm-up for the drivers really. I mean, it would be good if they could get two sets of mediums, but yeah, the game doesn't, as you said, the game doesn't allow you to have two sets of harder tyres.
Well, this track here sort of has
Wazzy's out. Wazzy's out of the session. Just gone involved with Callum, and he's span it at the top of the hill. So that is not good for Wazzy. He shows some good pace this season, but he will take no further part in this qualification. Well, I remember, I think you did it a couple of seasons back on the same corner in the race. So
yeah,
it is definitely one that's quite easy to get wrong can either take too much of the inside curb or too much of the outside curb. But yeah, Callum,
it's
got a great lap on the mediums there, 16.8. I think he'll be disappointed with that.
Yeah. Yeah, that right-hander where Wesley crashed is completely flat on this game. And if you get the line slightly wrong, you could dip a wheel onto the gravel and then it's pot luck where you end up. And Wesley
it's flat out given that you take the right line, that is. So, as you said, if you're offline ever so slightly and you've still got your foot planted, by the time you get to the exit, it's a bit too late. Cineflow with a 15.3, as we were just discussing that. So that's a reasonable time from the Renault driver. So I think he is. It
does look like he's going for a set of softs.
Yeah. Enzo and Tavares have set 16.2s on the softs, which will just be warm-up laps. We're back in the pits now. Pitbull's going for his second run on softs. And Matt is on his third lap on a set of softs, I'm pretty sure. In lap, I think. So yeah, he'll be coming in probably for another fresh set of softs. Or he'll be waiting to the end of the session, I think. Oh no, he is going round again. Matt's
if you've only got a couple of chances on a set of mediums, might as well get the practice in.
Well, the problem for Matt is that if the drivers behind him don't improve, and if he invalidates his medium lap, he still has a chance of starting on those softs, which he would now have done possibly 4, and with an in-lap 5 laps on, which at that stage they're already going to be about 30-odd%. So as long as the guys behind him improve, or as long as he gets his medium run in, no problems, and he'll be alright, but it is a bit of pressure to put on at the end for him.
Yeah, there are a few places you can invalidate around this lap.
And
it's not the easiest to keep it clean.
Wheel over. He did invalidate there as well, yeah. But for the race, it's difficult as well to try and keep your nose clean, not get any warnings.
Yeah, we saw a lot of penalties yesterday from multiple drivers.
Me in particular. Yeah, I think it's one where once you get in your rhythm, if you've done a load of practice, you've got the setup right, if you've got everything nailed, it all goes plain sailing, but it's very, very difficult to get to that stage, which is why we see a lot of people pick up penalties. There's 33 laps in the race, so 33 different times on every single corner that you can just dip a wheel over. Obviously the biggest places, or the most important places that realistically could do it is turn 7, 8, 9, and then towards the end of the lap, sort of turn 14.
Yeah. It's always possible around turn 2 as well.
Yeah.
Just took a bit too much of the
turn 1 as well. I think you've got to nail that line on turn 1 and 2, as we see a yellow flag out for McLaren driver. Might be Typhon on the exit of turn 3. Here's a bit of a moment.
Martino then in P2 with a 15.5.
Be interesting.
That strikes me as potentially a soft time.
That's quite a decent time on a set of softs. He'd have to put in a very good lap on a set of mediums to beat that. I mean, we saw the best medium time yesterday was it was about a 0.9, I think, 14.9 for Tier 1. As we see Davies retiring the session, and that is right in the middle of the track. Davies' car is in a very dangerous position there. He's done the same thing as Wazzy did earlier on in the session.
Well, this is a disaster for him in this qualifying session. He's going to be starting at the very back.
Well, it depends if people get
Except
their
for
laps in.
Wazzy.
He could still start P13 at this rate. As we said, invalidations are quite crucial, especially on your quali lap. So, whoever can set that last lap. But yep, just under 7 minutes remaining in the session. Typhon's going for another, not Typhon, sorry, that's Danger Man, setting up his lap on a set of softs. He is one of a few drivers still out on track, not many at the moment. So we will watch him. He does his quali lap. Yeah, the sun has appeared from out the clouds. Earlier on in the session it was very, very grey and overcast. Yeah, the sun has appeared. There were a few drivers who stayed in the pit lane for quite a while. I think nobody came out for about 2 minutes at the start of the session. I don't know if that's a sign of anything to come in the race, but you would have thought some drivers would want to get straight out there and just get a bit of a feel for the track conditions.
And then on the other end, you've got Matt, who's still going around in his set of softs, having done 6 laps.
Cineflow, sorry. He is now on provisional pole with a 14.9, first one into the 14s. So not a bad time from the Renault driver. As we see Kevin on the mediums, that's a 15.5. He's the first one to set a representative time on the mediums. Flip back to Danger Man, he put in a 17.9. He goes P9. I believe that's most people who are on a lap. Cineflow's on an in lap, Kevin's on an in lap. We've got a few on out laps at the moment. Enzo is on his set of mediums, so he's going for his medium run quite early. So we will watch him on his qualifying run. Look down into turn 1, picks his braking point, about 100 metres. Tries to cut the curves. Didn't take as much curb on the left there. I think that would have lost him a bit of time.
Yeah, he completely avoided it.
First sector, he is 1/10 up on his time. To see how much he gains through the rest of the lap. We are expecting probably the best medium run to be a low 15. As on my screen, oh, he's invalidated. He's invalidated his lap.
So easy to do, just running a smidge wide.
He should be alright. He can save a bit of ERS in this final sector, and as long as he's got enough fuel in, which is pretty much the case. The maximum, the minimum amount of fuel you can put in is pretty much good enough for 2 laps anyway. So he should be good to go for another run now. You see, Nivellari is on his medium run, coming through the final sector. Got Enzo just ahead of him, shouldn't hold him up. Haven't seen if he's up on his time or not. He should be on a 21.6, but yeah, getting a distant tow from the car ahead, and he does a 15.4. That's P2, thanks
Good
to
time.
medium runners. We see, yeah, Enzo going for his lap now. We'll keep an eye on him. Typhon's on his medium lap, 6 seconds up, and he's had a bit of a. Oh yeah, and he spun it. He spun it. And he's off on the runoff. That's his lap ruined. I'm not sure if he's going to have even the tyre grip to go for another lap. Hopefully for him, he does. Interestingly, Martineau is not a set of mediums, Gravity. He's on a set of softs, starting his lap now.
Well, I thought his soft time from earlier would have been a bit ambitious to try and beat on mediums. He's either really confident or going for a set of softs, and it seems he's chosen the latter, trying to get the pole.
We'll have to see where he puts himself in the order. We are seeing Enzo now coming through the final sector. Final 2 corners now. That's all he's got to navigate. He's managed to keep it valid this time, but what kind of time is it? It looks a little bit down on maybe where he would have wanted to be, but he comes across the line. It's a 15.5. So not too bad, but he is behind Kevin by 9 thousandths. So you see Cineflow getting out of his way.
Martino is very far up on his lap. over 4 tenths at the moment, and he's still got this final sector to navigate, coming up to the final chicane now.
Pitbull's retired.
It's all very
Not
neat and
sure that's
tidy.
on track yet.
Oh,
Here
big
it comes.
oversteer out the final corner.
Over the line, well, against 14s, he won't. It's only a 15.1, so we'll flick back to Tavares, who's on a medium lap. He's backed off of his lap. So he is going for a run now. He's just starting his lap. Is anyone else on the lap at the moment? Someone's just set a time. That's Surat. Only a 16.1 on the medium tyres. Maybe going for another run. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Someone else just gone quite far.
Victor
That's
McFly.
Yeah, 15 flat. Great lap from the Red Bull driver. Matt is currently on his lap on a set of mediums. How much is he up by? He's up by 1.1 seconds. So how much time can he gain in this final sector? Dan Boss goes P7 with a 0.5. A lot of drivers on the 0.5 on the medium tyres. Matt drifts a bit wide and he's got Enzo ahead of him. Enzo jumps out the way. Might have been a little bit off-putting for the Mercedes driver, but it will come through the final chicane now. And where can he put himself in the order? This should be his final run. He comes across the line. 15.5, but it puts him P5.
Another 0.5.
Yep. Very, very close in that midfield cluster. Surat is not on another lap. He may be trying to make it to the flag and go for another run, but it would be risky on 3-lap old tyres. We've also didn't mention STB Maldi's out the session. Not sure why. He's retired from the session.
Yeah, I caught a glimpse of it earlier. He just seemed to retire in the pits. He didn't have any incident or crash.
Interesting. He must have messed up his medium lap. Flo's invalidated his lap, so he's not getting another run in. And I think, yeah, Tavares just invalidated his. He went for another run, but that is his session over. Dan Boss.
Tavares and Kevin then on exactly the same time.
Wow. Shows you how close it was in we say the midfield, but realistically that is the battle up front. Apart from Victor McFly, Nuvolari down to Dan Boss is what, 10th and a half? Covers about 6 positions, so I think that's everybody. Typhon's still on a lap. He's on a set of softs. So I'm not sure if I'll even want to finish this lap. I believe they're the only one that's on
Nuvolari's
laps.
just started a lap on a set of softs.
He has, yeah, I did see that. But we're keeping on Typhon, coming through the final sector. Will he go, well, the alternate strategy has a bit of oversteer. But we see, does he complete the lap? Does he want to start on the set of softs? He is going to the line. Is he going to lift off at all? He doesn't seem to be. So up to the line for Typhon. It's only a 16 flat, and it does put him in the top 10 as well. So that's really not helped him.
Nuvolari then, he's definitely on for a potential pole if he finishes this lap. He's about 5 tenths up on his current lap.
Is Nuvolari going to go for the alternate strategy? He's in a very good place. Second best on the medium, yep. He has backed off. He's
bails
going
out
to the
of
pit lane. And I think that is everybody. And Frampton's just on his in lap. So that is your grid for the Tier 2 Spanish Grand Prix. Very, very tight. Victor McFly, as we said, setting the pace. As Callum bashes the pit entry wall. So yeah, it is MRO Cineflow on pole position on a set of softs. But Victor McFly, as we said, looking very, very fast. About 3.5 attempts clear of his nearest medium runner.
Be interesting to see how quickly he can get past Cineflow at the start. And if Cineflow manages to hold up all the medium runners like we saw yesterday, then the likes of Nuvolari and Matt can maybe try and take advantage.
Looking at the quali times, they're only separated by a 10th, so they should be matched on pace early on until the softs drop off. which may be when Martineau as well is going to put some pressure on him from behind if Siniflo starts to hold him up. Martineau doing 2 laps on those soft tyres though, which for him is not going to be great. Starting on those, we just wait for Enzo now to retire.
I don't know what you're seeing, but the time remaining is stuck on
Yeah,
001.
I think that's not to go on from our screens. There's a lot of the time the checkered flag doesn't fall for another 30 seconds after the session's over, supposedly. So hopefully it is just waiting for the time to run down on their screens.
Not only that, as I've noticed a bunch of AI popping in the bottom of the screen.
They kept popping up on qualifying as well when I was scrolling through. Let's hope that's not going to affect anything. Yep, there we go. So here is your grid for the Tier 2 Spanish Grand Prix. So it's Emiro Siniflo who is on pole position. LMT Victor McFly will join him on the front row. Martineau, another one on the set of softs. He will start in P3. Nivellari with a very good lap in P4, just ahead of Matty Banter. Tavares will join him on the third row. Kevin in P7. Enzo P8. Dambos with P9. That is a Brazilian train separated by LCR Typhon in 10th and another Brazilian in FXBR Serrat. He will start just outside of the top 10, get free reign of tyres. Pitbull will start P12, Callum Frampton P13, TSR Danger Man was P14, and Maudi, Davi, and Wazi did not set any times, so they will start from the back of the grid. But we got sunshine here for the Spanish Grand Prix. So no rain overhead for now. It is looking like a very nice day to go motor racing. Gravity.
Sunny day, higher temperatures, and on this track, especially, tyre wear is going to be a big issue. That's why so many people have started on the mediums. And I think the soft runners, if they're trying a one-stop, they're going to either fail or have to tyre save very heavily. And the two-stop, they're going to have to be absolutely rapid because it's significantly slower than going mediums to hards.
Well, I believe it is the only track on this game that actually you have to qualify on the harder tyre as a quicker strategy than either going for a two-stop or a one-stop softs to mediums or softs to hards. So it is pretty much the only track that you cannot use the softest tyre, which shows you just how bad the tyre wear is. Yep, so everybody outside the top 10 is on hard set of tyres. Callum Frampton is the only one to go on a set of hards. We saw yesterday DJ Danny very nearly picking up a win on that strategy with a late safety car, as Enzo's already been disqualified from formation lap. He didn't move off the grid, I don't think.
That's a bit worrying.
Well, his tyres are not going to be in the best condition on the start. They're going to be stone cold. Hopefully for his sake, it doesn't fall down the order too much.
Talking about the start, Martino starting behind Victor McFly, but on the softer tyre, can he use the extra grip to outlaunch the Red Bull driver and take him into turn 1?
I think it's very important for Victor McFly to keep Martineau behind and just stay in DRS of Siniflo for a few laps and then try and make his move once the opportunity arises. But he's got a big train of medium runners behind him who, as we said, were very, very closely matched in that qualifying session. So for him, as long as he gets a clean start, I mean, ideally for him, he'd want to jump the Renault ahead of him, but I think maintaining position would be quite good for Red Bull driver. So then, Siniflo coming through the final corner. He will line up on pole position on his return race. And Matt has left the session right at the worst point, and so is Enzo Gravity. So two drivers disconnecting at the same time, but they will all line
That's
up on
very
the grid.
worrying.
Hopefully they can get back in quick enough. We've got all drivers now lined up on the grid as the lights go on ahead of us. It's lights out on our screen, but oh, hello. There is a driver that's decided to jump the start. That is Matty's ghost. Matt is away into turn one. So the rest of the drivers are waiting on the grid there. There's no lights on our screen, but the revs are building on the cars. And it is now lights out, and away we go. We see who gets the better start out of those two. Victor McFly's had a very good start. Behind us, it looks as if Tavares has had a very good start as well. He is troubling the back of Martineau. Going into turn one. He has a massive dive into turn one. And he's nearly made big contact. And Martineau losing out at the start. He's now got Tavares right on his back. Looks relatively clean.
Typhon's lost it.
And Typhon span. And he's in the gravel. And that is his race done and dusted already. Unless he can get the car going. No, he is out of the session. And apparently sets a purple lap as well. That's brilliant. As we see Kevin and Danboss going side by side through turn 6. Enzo has rejoined the session. These two still scrapping it out for 9th place in this race. And Danboss going to go right round the outside. Great move from the Alfa Romeo on his debut.
Just to note, I feel a bit sorry for Enzo, who's joined the session again only to find out he's been disqualified.
Oh, goodness. That is extremely unfortunate for the Brazilian driver. Matt has not rejoined the session, Gravity, but he is currently 10 seconds in the lead. As his AI decided to just go when he wanted, and Matt's now left the session again. Yeah, I mean, what happens if he does rejoin? As we see Victor McFly is right on the back of Cineflow. He's going to go for the move here. Looking very quick early on. He's lowered his DRS. No DRS, obviously, as we're only on lap 2, but he is going to go for a move up the inside of turn 1. Will Cineflow fight it back? They're going to make a bit of contact on the inside. Cineflow gives him a squeeze, and he holds the position for now. Victor McFly needed to get past him, but he couldn't quite manage it. As Typhon set another fastest lap, 17.3, incredible lap from him. Yeah, Victor McFly's looking very fast early on, as Davi's already picked up a 3-second time penalty, and yeah, Enzo's had enough. Do not blame him. Matt is back in the session, but yeah, this is I don't really know what to make of it, to be honest, Gravity. He's still 8 seconds clear. So
I don't know if the 10, 11 second advantage he had off the start is going to get taken off by the game at the end.
Oh, that's the thing.
But at the moment, he's
will he feel the need to lift off, give all that time back, maybe drop in behind Martineau, or is he just going to take advantage? It would definitely be something that the stewards will have to look at. And DRS is enabled. And Cineflow's really trying to shake the slipstream. Victor McFly isn't as close to the back of Cineflow as he was on the second lap. As all the timing delta's now gone. This is a fantastic game if you ask me. Cineflow still leads us. We've got a yellow flag in the background. I'm not sure who that's for. Oh, it's Matt.
I think it's from Matt.
Slowing down. So Matt is going to slow right down. Will he let the drivers behind him through? Doesn't seem to be letting them pass, but Cineflow's going to go up the inside anyway into turn 8. Gets the move done on the Mercedes driver. So I think Matt's argument is going to be that he's giving the time back. And as we see, Victor McFly's now right on the back of Matt as well. He's got DRS, but Matt's also got DRS right on the back of Cineflow. Yellow flag for Wazzy. Wazzy's had a moment. Into turn 8. He managed to get going again.
Yeah, I did notice when I cut to Matt with the yellow flag that he had a big bunch of gravel on his tyres. So it wouldn't surprise me if when he rejoined, obviously in this game it doesn't tell you when you're going to take control.
Yeah, it's probably
He's just sailed off at turn 4. Turn 3.
Maudi's making moves behind. I think someone might have had another spin. I think it might have been Danger Man. So Maudi up in... Oh, Matt's had a spin! And there's been a big crash! Oh no! And Victor McFly's been caught up in that. And Matt's been given a 5-second penalty for that incident. And he's gotten away with damage somehow. But Victor McFly, innocent bystander, was collected in that incident. He's got front wing damage. And he's down into P12. Disastrous from the Red Bull driver there. See Kevin's right on the back of Pitbull now. Is he going to make a move? He's thinking about going up the inside, but doesn't quite have momentum up the corner. I'm not quite sure what happened in that instance. Did you catch any of that one?
It looked to me as though Matt just took too much curb.
Oh, sorry, to Williams.
It unsettled the car.
Martinez falling backwards on those soft tyres. Surratt's made a move.
Surratt then started P11 all the way up to P4.
He's looking very quick in these early stages. And realistically, in a provisional P3 at the moment, right on the back of Nuvolari. See, Martin has come into the pits already on a set of softs. That's early, even for soft tyres. He should be going on a set.
Sinnefer's doing a good job out front still. And his set of softs.
Helped him
obviously aided
by
the crash behind.
But he's got a 2-second gap at the moment. You see, Martin's gone on a set of hards. Sorry. Interesting.
Yes, Matt took too much curb at turn 2, got completely sideways, and Victor McFly just had absolutely nowhere to go. He slammed on the brakes, but it was just too late.
Yeah, the turn 2 is very, very difficult if driver in front has. I think last season had a very similar incident at turn 1, lap 1. Driver ahead of me sort of had a half spin, and you just can't go anywhere when you're directly behind the car. So very unfortunate for Victor McFly. We'll see. He has gone on a set of hards. We've got Danger Man is out of the race, and that dreaded flat out right-hander. He is out. We'll see if there is a safety car. That is in quite a dangerous position. We've got a virtual safety car.
Virtual safety car, very good for Sinnerflow.
Yeah, and he boxes straight away. Great reaction.
Advantage.
And Matt's left the session again. But yeah, that's really going to help Sinnerflow. May put him back in this race. Very, very hard to make that that 2-stop work. We'll see where he comes out. He should come out P9, but quite a distance off of Matt. But depending on how fast he is, he could make this strategy work.
He's just been jumped by Callum Frampton.
He has, which
annoyingly
is
for him.
A little bit, yeah. He should be able to dispatch of him quite quickly as Callum is on the hard tyre. Trying to nurse those to the end. He'll have a hard time of doing that though. So Tavares.
Takes the lead of this race.
I didn't think I'd be saying that early on. But yeah. I mean, the big winners were Tavares, as you said, Surratt. He went up 8 places. Maudi all the way up to 7th. Yeah, most of those drivers stuck behind that top 3. They all gained positions due to a couple of incidents.
It'll be interesting to know if anyone, obviously other than Matt, had a glitched start, because it was all a bit of a mess. I noticed before his crash, Typhon was up to P6, despite starting in P10, and Nuvolari lost a few positions off the line.
Yeah, well,
so everyone's
I didn't see anything,
times.
but it has been known to be a problem. So, yeah, I mean, that is definitely possible.
Sinnerflow already makes his way past Callum Frampton. Those hard tyres are just not working out for him.
Yeah, it's very, very early on once you've got this much fuel in the car. So he's 5 seconds behind Matty, who I believe is back in the session. He is, yeah. So Matty back in the session, chasing down Maudi. Keeping an eye on the gap, but he needs to start reeling these guys in, because obviously he's still got another pit stop to go. But he will be on the quicker tyre at the end, so as long as he can bring this gap down a bit in this stint, he should be looking alright. But yeah, Maudi up to P7, as we said. He's really not that far off the lead. I think it's about 6-7 seconds maybe off the lead.
Yep, 7.6.
Oh, hello. Just check.
He's
Sorry,
right.
I just flicked back to the gap to Matt, which has come down by a second in half a lap. As we've got Matt off,
no.
and Matt's out of the session. That's a safety car, and I'm not sure they can pit to the end, Gravity.
This is a very awkward time for a safety car.
It is, but this may help Cineflow. If they pit for hards, I think they're really going to struggle to get it to the end. So some, I think, will stay out. And that's going to help Cineflow, obviously, because he's going to be straight back in this train with fresher tyres on a softer compound with only one more pit stop on another fresh set of the softer tyres.
Will anyone risk it, though? Try and tyre save their way all the way to the end?
Well, realistically, we're not going to have... The safety car's probably going to come in around lap 12. As we've got a lot of cars quite far back. Martineau's in the pits on a fresh set of mediums. Davi's coming for a fresh set of hards, so he's going to try and nurse them to the end. Wazi stayed out on his hard tyres, because obviously he's not got another set. He'll probably go to the softs towards the end, maybe even the mediums. We'll see now. Tavares is boxing. Tavares into the pits. Navallari's done the same. Surratt's done the same. Damos has done the same. Kevin's done the same. They're all coming into the pits. Gravity, Maudi as well. So Cineflow will take the lead of this race. Or will
no matter what
he's in the pits.
You choose, it's worth boxing now, because if you don't pit now, you've still got an extra stop, and you've just lost all that track position, or you've lost all that time on much older tyres.
I think,
unless all these guys think they can get to the end.
Callum's boxed for a set of mediums, as he was already on a set of hards. So that's really not helped his strategy. I don't know. I mean, I still feel like they're really going to struggle to get to the end. If I was Cineflow in that situation, I think I would have carried on, taken the lead and tried to just build a gap. But he obviously thinks that he can take the hards to the end. That's the strategy that he's going for.
This helps Victor McFly, who we know has immense pace, but because of that instant was pushed right to the back. Well, at least he'll get to close up the time.
And he's not going to take those hards to the end. So he's probably going to be banking on a late safety car, because he's going to need to box for another set of tyres at the end of the race at some point. But yeah, it sort of neutralises the race at this point. It puts them all back in a train. Callum will be looking to make some moves. It's important for Maudi to try and keep him behind. But all of the grid should be in line by the end of next lap. So we could see it coming in end of next lap or even lap 11. So it's going to be earlier than expected, I think. Which is not going to help these hard runners.
It definitely is not.
It's definitely going to be... It's going to be a game of attrition, really. Who can look after the tyres and keep a relative pace?
I think everyone who pit, they have to at least try. Apart from maybe Cineflow. He's the one person who was sort of out of position and could try something different.
Yeah, the only thing I'd argue for Cineflow is that, although you could argue he may get a free pit stop which takes him to the end, at the same time, it puts him down in P9. After Callum's boxed again, that's only P8. So he's got to do a lot of work on track with his raw pace, not just through his strategy and the faster tyres. So, as we were saying, if he'd stayed out a set of mediums, he takes the lead of the race on a fresh, softer compound. and then he gets to go on the softer compound at the end as well.
Yeah, it's a bit of a puzzling decision for me, if I'm honest.
Well, he's obviously confident
He's
with doing that strategy. He may be better at saving his tyres than the guys in front, which will give him a lot of benefit at the end of the race. But the whole train has formed now, Gravity, as I think Wazzy's had a half spin. But he's still going. And yeah, safety car in this lap already. So I'm very yeah. I don't think they're going to make it to the end. But we will see.
Well, it's crucial that they realise that and bail out early, because if you think you're getting a puncture a couple laps to go, you've lost so much more time than if you pit, say,
but
6, 7, 8.
At the same time, they'll give the argument that it's either they go to the end or nothing. That's what they've got to do. As Tavares is still backing up the field to the final corner, going very, very late. As we see Nuvolari trying to get a move on already, and Tavares has used that opportunity to get the jump on him, and Surratt's now going to be right behind him, and behind them Maudi as well, right behind Damos, is going to go look for a move, so keep an eye on that. As we see behind, that's Maudi and Damos going side by side into turn 1. Maudi up the inside, can he get the move done? He gives Damos a squeeze, they're going to make a bit of contact, but he gets the move done into turn 2, and he's up into P6, and now Callum Frampton's going to get involved. Damos is just getting pushed around, as now Siniflow's going to get the jump on him as well. That's an awful restart from the Alfa Romeo driver.
Not a lot he did wrong, really. He's just gotten a bit unlucky. Maldi pushed him a little bit wide, and all the other drivers behind took advantage.
He just got swamped. By everybody behind. Pit looking very fast, trying to back off Kevin, and Maudi as well. Like a pit bull. Yeah, disastrous for Damos on the restart, but still opportunities for him in the race. As he's now getting overtaken by Victor McFly, and they've made a bit of contact at the end of the straight. And Damos is trying to get him back up the inside, and he is. Gives Victor McFly a squeeze on the exit. He's not having any of that. Victor McFly's going to need to get past him. He wants to put a charge on for a podium. The closest to making the move looks like Siniflow on the back of Callum Frampton. Callum Frampton's not quite making the moves that he'd want to. Gives Siniflow the squeeze on the inside. Room for Siniflow to go up the inside though, and he does so into turn 1. Ferrari's going to try and hang it right around the outside of turn 2 though, and he does give Siniflow a squeeze, and they're going to be side by side all the way up to the top of the hill again. And this is great racing from the pair of them, and Siniflow's finally got the move done on the Ferrari driver.
This is not good for Callum Frampton. He's on the softer set of tyres. He should be the one making moves, and he's just been overtaken through turn 3.
His race, it's going to be difficult because they're in a big train in a big slide. Now Damos is looking to get involved on the party. Can he hang it around the outside? Doesn't quite get close enough in the dirty air. Callum's picked up a penalty as well. I think Damos got a warning from that as well in the dirty air. Yeah, Victor McFly is still on the back of this battle. He needs to start making moves. Pitbull, I was saying, is looking fast early on, but Kevin has dropped him a bit now.
Pitbull just made a bit of a mistake. That's why.
Then.
Just before the final chicane.
As we see, Surratt has dropped out of DRS range.
Siniflow's making a move on Maldi.
And his teammate up the inside.
Him through.
Yeah, Siniflow's looking like the quicker of the two at the moment. See if Maldi can hang on to the back of him and try and get him late on. Siniflow's making moves, proving to us why he went for the strategy. Pitbull's next up the road for him.
Clearly has good pace.
Talking about good pace, Tavares out in front has completely dropped the two behind him. They're 9 tenths apart from each other. Just needs that extra tenth, and he's got Nuvolari out of DRS range. So. Damos still on the back of Callum. Is he going to go for He's also got Victor Fly right on his gearbox, and Martino as well on a set of mediums. hasn't really made the moves that he needs to at the moment. Cinefloat eyeing up Pitbull. Pitbull has no DRS, so this might be a very easy move for the Renault driver. Just behind them, Danboss is lining up a move on Callum Frampton as well. Looks like Cinefloat's not going for the move, so we'll look back towards, as we see Danboss go to the inside. Callum Frampton gives him a squeeze, but Danboss muscles his way up the inside. Callum goes back around the outside. Can Danboss, oh, he has a bit of slide on the exit, can't quite hang around on the outside of turn 3, and he's now got Martineau for company, who may go for a move into turn 4 here. He is up the inside, and Danboss is just going further and further down the order. Couldn't quite make the move on Callum, got very unlucky on the exit, and he's down to P10.
Turn 1's an interesting place to make an overtake, because if you're side by side, really, the outside is where you'd want to be, and Danboss wasn't quite far enough inside to get the move done, and it just left him out of position through turn 3, where Martineau took full advantage, and Danboss is just dropping down the field.
He's having a rough time in his debut, but still in the points at the moment, and there is plenty to play for. So, see, Cinefloat is struggling to get past Pitbull at the moment. He's quite low on ERS. Pitbull's not much better off, but he's doing well to keep the Renault behind him. Audi's just about dropped out of DRS, which is not good for him because he's now got Callum Frampton looking as if he wants to make a move, but Cinefloat's going for the move now in the slipstream. ERS on and ERS open, and he gets to move up the inside very easily as Callum Frampton's made a move on STB Maudi. So Maudi's dropped back a little bit, not quite got the pace that he wants to, as we see Martineau trying to make a move around the outside of Maudi. Is he going to go for the same move that he did on Danboss? He is up the inside. They're going to be side by side through turn 4, gives him a squeeze, and Martineau's finally making the moves that he needs to up into P8.
He's liking the turn 4 and the end of turn 3. 2 moves and 2 laps.
Well, it's a corner that as long as you've got the front end grip, it's a very good corner to make an overtake, because you can get a nice little switchback on a flat out corner essentially, and then dive up the inside. Martineau's going to go for another move here on Callum Frampton up the inside at the end of the straight, and then side by side he's giving him a squeeze, gives him room on the exit. Great move from the Williams driver as he continues his charge through the field. Not much Callum could have done there.
No, Martineau super late on the brakes, well down the inside by the time they're both turning in, and he's just mugged him completely.
Well, it looked as if they might have made a bit of contact, but Martineau gave him the squeeze, but it was very, very fair. It left him the gap on the... sorry, I'll interrupt myself there. Nivellari's made the move on Tavares, so we've missed that one. Nivellari takes the lead of the Grand Prix, and Tavares is running out of ERS, so struggling early on as we see Martineau's made his move on Pitbull. He's really charging through now. Yeah, Nivellari takes the lead of this race, so we missed that one.
Tavares must have made a mistake, surely, because the gap was...
I think he did, because it
teetering
sort of
around the second margin.
It suddenly switched back, unless he did run out of ERS on the straight, and Nivellari was just about in DRS range and made the most of it.
Can Serrat take advantage and get back into...
And Callum, so we'll keep an eye on that as well. Yeah, there's Train for the lead. The usual suspects from Tier 2. We've got Nivellari, Tavares, Serrat and Kevin. Kevin, your only 2-time winner, the multiple winner of this season. As we see, Serrat is right on the back of Tavares. Tavares is going to go defensive on the Williams driver. He's going to have to go the long way round at turn 1. Can he make it around the outside? He's only got his front wheel. Is he going to go for late braking? He is! He's outbraking the Haas, but he's lost it on the entry, and they're still going to go side by side through turn 3. Can he make it round the outside of turn 3? And he's going to use a bit of overtake, and very close to the back of him, and he's going to go for a move up the inside of turn 4. Can he make it stick? As we've got Maudi's had a spin gravity at turn 2 as Serrat makes his way past Tavares. And has he got the move done? They're still side by side, and he has finally got the move done. But yep, Maudi off at turn 2. He was looking for a very good result there. Disappointing for the Renault.
Tavares then, losing 2 positions. The one against Surat, I think, he dived through at turn 1, or defended successfully at turn 1, despite Surat breaking super late. But he was very polite through turn 2. Surat was barely alongside, and he gave him all the space in the world, which put him on a really tight line for turn 3. And Surat just said thank you very much and switched back into turn 4.
Well, these two, I think, know each other very well, so I'm sure a lot of respect between the two of them. Didn't want to get involved in a collision. We see Kevin is looking now. So Tavares dropping off the pace a little bit. We haven't really spoke about Kevin in this race. He's had a very quiet one, but he's still in this hunt for the lead. You see Victor McFly is on the back of Dambos. He still can't get past this train, Gravity. I feel like I'm watching Valtteri Bottas in Monza at the moment. Just cannot get past this train of cars that I thought he would have sort of made his way through very, very quickly. You've got to remember, Maudi spin as well. He was outside the points before Maudi's mistake, which is not what I expected from the Red Bull driver.
It's a bit surprising, considering he got pole by, well, got medium pole essentially by a few tenths. But then
really
again, his tyres are a little older.
He's really struggling in the ERS front. So yeah, he's still banking on that safety car because he's definitely got to come in for another set of tyres at the end, as we see Kevin right on the back of Tavares again. Tavares really struggling, and here comes Kevin. Easy move for the Brazilian driver. Makes it past his compatriot before the braking zone, and he is up on the bottom places.
Ooh, Surat's made a mistake through turn 2.
And that is going to give Kevin all of the insight that he needs to go and chase after. As we see, there's been an incident, and that's Callum Frampton at turn 2. We didn't see if there's any contact. He's gotten away with damage, so he may have spun it himself. Didn't catch that one. Oh, it's unfortunate for him. And Davi's out in the pit lane. He's retired.
Cineflow slowly catching up. He's lapping quicker than the leader at the moment. As Tavares picked up a penalty.
I think he's already got one as well. Interesting. Cineflow goes down to second gear through the long right hander. We've got the yellow flag for Davi's car. Sector 1. So yeah, Martineau dropping off the pace now with the mediums sort of hitting their point. Pitbull's really dropped off. They've sort of got a train for P6 downwards now, as we see Dambos making his way past Pitbull. And Victor McFly is going to make the most of that opportunity as well. Up the inside, still not got past Dambos, but he is past Pitbull. Oh, it's fucking... Davi's car is sat on the racing line through turn 4. I think that nearly caused a big collision.
Well, good thing it didn't. That could have been horrible.
I mean, we've seen a lot of game-breaking glitches in this race in particular, but that one is very, very dangerous. You would have thought if you retire in the pit lane that your car would stop in the pit lane, but not to be.
So then, Cineflow is well and truly joined this train now.
He has, and he's looking like the quickest
and it's
out of all of them.
5 for the lead.
He is very, very low on his ERS though. Kevin's very good at saving the ERS. He's got 73%. But the only issue with Kevin is that he keeps a little bit too much, I think. At the end of the race, he's usually got 30% left at least. Surat's looking decent. Nivellari's a bit low as he's at the front of the train. So all of them, apart from Kevin, are struggling a little bit with the ERS.
Well, at the moment, what's good for Kevin is he's not only got a high ERS, he's also taken his chances up to P3. He passed Tavares. He didn't dump all his ERS the first time round. He waited until he was a little bit closer, kept a higher amount of ERS saved, and he's still made the position up to P3. And he's right on
he's
the
got
back
enough
of the
when he
leaders.
needs it. Is the most important thing. When he really needs to use it, he's got it there ready. If there is, the two battling in front, too busy focusing on each other, and he can just snatch two places in one go. Obviously, he's got the battery power for that. Tavares is really struggling on these tyres. And it looks as if Cineflow is going to make a move on him here. But I think he's going to run out of ERS before he even gets into the straight. He is. He's not in overtake. He's got to save a bit of battery power. Kevin got very close to Saran's turn one as well. See Victor McFly finally getting past Dan Boss for the braking zone. He's up into P7. What can he do now? He's got fresh air. Can he chase after these guys? 6 seconds, nearly 7 seconds to gain. But if these lots start battling, we'll still play for him.
Two spinners, Callum Frampton and Maldy having a bit of a battle.
Yeah, for the final points playing position. Callum will need to pit again, whereas I don't think Maldy will. We'll have to see if these guys last. They seem, none of them seem to be lifting off and saving tyres. So maybe later on that they worry about that.
Callum went a bit wide and Maldy stuck his nose in at turn 5, but Callum managed to hold it around the outside successfully.
Well, Callum's tyres are going to be dropping off a cliff at this point. Maldy nearly spins on the curb, gets a penalty. Oh, he sticks his nose in again, Maldy.
Stuck his nose in again.
I think he just outbroke himself a little bit. Didn't really look like he wanted to go for the move. But Kevin, really close on the back of Surat. Doesn't want to go for the move, though. He's happy to follow these guys at the moment. Callum's just boxed. As we were saying, his tyres were starting to go off. He should go on a set of mediums. It's a bit early to go on a set of softs. Cineflow still troubling Tavares for that P4 spot.
The issue here is he's using a lot of ERS on the start-finish straight every lap trying to get past.
Well, the thing is, he's at a point where he's so fast that it's actually slowing him down the amount of ERS he's using, because look how close he is to Tavares. He could just stay within 6/10 of him, gain a bit of ERS, and go on the charge late on, as Callum's already spanned coming out the pit lane. And he's retired on track. Gravity.
He has.
He's got damage. So, is there going to be a safety car? If there is, these guys have already passed the pit lane. All of them have past the pit lanes. We've got yellow, sector 1 and sector 2 yellow flag. As on the inside of. Oh dear. Oh, they've made contact.
You could see that one
from
coming.
Cineflow, and they've made contact into turn 1. And that's Cineflow's hard work undone. I think he got away with damage. No safety car from the Ferrari. And Tavares very lucky to get away with that. He lost a big chunk of time into this lead train. He's now 2 seconds back. Yeah, I think Cineflow just maybe getting a little bit frustrated behind the Haas.
Yeah.
Past him, but I think he just needed to save a bit of ERS, and he would have been a lot faster than the Haas driver.
It's just a shame. Anyway, Surat almost making a move to turn 1 last lap, but Nuvolari covered it off.
He also picked
He
up a
seems to
penalty
have lost a
on
little
that
bit
lap.
of ground.
So
He did. He
we
ran a
didn't-
little wide at the chicane.
I haven't seen Kevin or Nuvolari pick up any. I'm not saying I haven't got any, but I haven't seen any pop up from their end.
I think I
Kevin
remember
maybe going for a
meeting-
move here. He is. He's using his ERS, and this is the moment that he needs to go up the inside. Doesn't outbrake him though. He's going to have to get the move done up into turn 3 and round at turn 4. He is putting his overtake on. So he's going for the move here, Gravity. In the slipstream. Is he going to dive up the inside? Thinks better of it. He used a lot of ERS there. It's not going to help him at all.
Well, he saw Surat get a little bit wayward in the final sector. And that he thought that was his chance, but Surat just holding it around the outside and keeping it all the way up until turn 4.
I think if he'd just stuck a little bit closer through turn 2, he definitely would have had enough speed through turn 3 to go for move up the inside of turn 4, but not to be. He is looking, I think at the moment, the quickest out of the 3. Now that
Not only
gone off this train.
is he the quickest of the 3, he is the only one who doesn't have a penalty at the moment.
Wow. So I don't think he will know about Nevalori's penalty situations. Martineau's into the pits. Might go on a set of softs to the end. Yeah, he shouldn't. I don't think he'll know about Nevalori's penalty situation, but he will know about Surat's. He is the car in front. Yep, Martineau on a set of softs. Where will he come out? He'll come out quite far back. So he's going to struggle to make an impact. I think at minimum he's going to have P9 and fastest lap.
Well, he might not have the fastest lap because Victor McFly on 4-lap older hards, if he should be pitting around now unless he's trying to get it all the way to the end.
Yeah. I suppose it would depend on their relative pace and whether Victor McFly is going to box or not. But yeah, Tavares looks to be out of contention now, unless there is some sort of incident. Kevin again right on the back of Surat, and he's putting his overtake on. He really wants to get past Surat at this stage. But the DRS and slipstream was just very, very powerful. Kevin's not even bothered about going into the slipstream. Doing a Kimi Raikkonen down the straight. So we look behind as well. Victor McFly is catching the back of Cineflow. Can he get his recovery drive into P5? And can he get those tyres to the end, I think, is the most important part.
That's a good question.
But Dan Boss waiting
It's
behind
an
him.
awful long way.
If there is any pit action.
I do think out of this leading trio, Surat probably has the best pace here, but he just keeps making small mistakes, especially through the last sector, through the final chicane and the right-hander before. Just puts him a little bit too far away, and also gives Kevin the incentive to get closer and try and overtake him.
Well, he's a little bit closer on this occasion, as long as he can get the final corner. No, he's made a bit of a mistake again, but he is a little bit closer through the final corner. How much ERS has he got? He's saved a bit of ERS up. He's not in overtake at the moment. So, and Nivolari's used a lot. As we've got a yellow flag, and Wazzy has had a spin at that dreaded corner, and it's a virtual safety car.
Virtual safety car.
Will Victor McFly take the opportunity to pit? No, he's past the pit lane. They're all past the pit lane. I think if Victor McFly felt like he needed to pit, that would have been perfect for him. But even at that stage, he'd be quite far back down the order.
This just kind of acts as a brief pause
Yeah.
in the lead battle.
Lets him save up a bit of ERS, which helps Nivolari. He's up to 40% already. Surat's saved a lot of ERS, but Kevin is nearly on 100%.
This might help Nuvolari actually, because he was very, very, very low.
Yeah.
At the end of the straight, he was
How much?
about
He
10%.
saved up about 50%. So, the green flag again as they head off, and Surat's had a good restart. If you can keep this close behind
Kevin's dropped
Nuvolari,
back a bit.
He may look for a move into turn 1. Behind Victor McFly is now in DRS of Cineflow. And they are slowly catching Tavares again. As we see, Serra is deep in the slipstream of the lorry. Can't quite get close enough. He's just gone a bit wide at turn 1 as well, which is not going to help his pursuit. And Victor McFly make a move. Not quite. Still hanging behind the Renault driver. Cineflow could still get P4 in this race. He's gaining a lot. Tavares' pace has really dropped off late on. Do we see Serra gets really close at the beginning of the middle sector. And by the end of the lap, it extends to about 6 tenths again.
It just looks like in that final sector, he doesn't have the rear stability to really just give him.
Well, he's closed off on this occasion, Gravity. He might
sector.
go up and move to the inside. He did put overtake on, and he's right on the back of the Valori. So yeah, we'll stay on board with him for the final sector. And yeah, he's gone wide there. That's going to cost him a couple of attempts at least. But he just needs to keep within a few attempts of him. And he is a lot closer on this occasion, Gravity. And I think this is his best opportunity to go for the overtake. Kevin is also very close behind Serra. And he is going for the move here, Gravity. His ERS, he's draining it all the way to the bottom. And he's going to go for a move around the outside for the lead of the Grand Prix. They're going to be side by side through turn 1. But he's got the outside line and he's finally got the move on the Valori and takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Kevin's going to be looking up behind. Is he going to go for a move up his turn 4? He's a little bit too far back on this occasion as Cineflow makes his move past Tavares. I think he made a mistake at turn 3 and Victor McFly's going to look for a move up the inside. Sticks his nose in. Can't quite get the position done though. He's still going for it around the outside though. And oh, contact between the two. It's an interesting place to go for the overtake. And he's going to go for it again up the inside. And this time he has made the move stick, so up into P5. He doesn't look like he wants to pit at all, Gravity. He's still going.
Yeah, he looks like he's got better tyres than Tavares at the moment. He just took more speed and a tighter line through turn 4.
He did have his overtake on through the whole corner though. It's a very odd place to use your overtake. But he got the move done. And yep, Serra is showing his pace now. He's passing the line. And Kevin trying to go from too far back. I think the Valori's used a lot of ERS to get back right on the back of Serra. Dambos is now looking interested on Tavares. Martineau's just made his move on Pitbull down the pit straight. A little bit too far back from Dambos. I'd assume that he's got the fastest lap. Maudi's also boxed for set stops, so he's going for fastest lap. He is in 10th, so if he gets it, he will get the point.
The positions have switched around, but this leading trio is still very much together.
It's all still all to play for, yeah. They're all around about 8 tenths away from each other. But I think, as you said, Kevin is the only one with no penalties at the moment.
I believe so.
So that's going to play into his hands. Obviously, he doesn't know. Well, actually, no, he will know now. He's got another lie in front of him, so at this stage he might have already checked the penalty situation and realised that he's still going to win this race, which is why he's backed off a little bit. Nuvolari's going to go for a move up the inside at turn 1.
Run.
A great move from the Alfa Romeo driver. Caught Serrat sleeping on the straight there, but Serrat's going to go for a move back on the outside. He wants that position back straight away, and they've made a bit of contact. Nuvolari just sort of sat in the middle of the road, held his position. Serrat was not happy with that one, you could tell. He looks aggressive right on the exit of the corner. A massive switch back. Nearly got the position back from him.
Well, if the car ahead is sat in the middle of the road, you can go to the inside if you lift off the throttle, but if you want to keep it pinned, there's nowhere for you to go.
Exactly. It was great defending from Nuvolari, but Serrat is still looking for a move. He is going to run out of ERS here, though. You're not going to be able to get it down the end of the straight. They're both just draining their batteries here. These two having a ding-dong battle. I think they know that this is pretty much the battle for P2, and they want those extra 3 points. They're hoping that Kevin may get a penalty late on, which could mean that this is actually the battle for the lead. But they've both got identical amounts of ERS, so this is going to be interesting going on to the final lap. Kevin behind them is still just watching. I don't think Sarah's going to have enough ERS to make a move into turn 1. He's not. He's a little bit too far back. Very aggressive on the brakes though. Manages to get more of a launch off turn 2 as well. I think this is going to be one of his biggest chances into turn 4. He's too far back. And Victor McFly is still going Gravity, but I think his tyres are gone at this stage. He's now got Tavares hassling him from behind, and also Dambos. But he is going to make it to the end by the looks of it.
Oh, don't say that. You're going to jinx him. It's gonna...
Commentator's curse. Yeah, it looks as if Nivellari is safe. I don't think Sarat's going to be able to get past unless Nivellari makes a big mistake. Going through the final sector. Sarat just keeps missing that apex, which is, it's really hindering his chances of getting close to Nivellari. But yep, Nivellari is well clear now. The Williams driver, as he takes the final few corners. It's been a good race for the Alfa Romeo driver, and he will round the final corner across the line, and he will provisionally win the race. Sarat will finish P2, but yep, Kevin will snatch the victory from the pair of them, and Cineflow will take the podium.
By less than a tenth.
Wow, so yeah, Kevin is your race winner. It was a great race from the Brazilian, kept it clean. He had a bit of a quiet one, but got the job done. Nivellari does stay in P2. Zed Cineflow takes that final podium spot. Sarat just falling off at the end. I think he got an extra penalty. So he's down in P4. Tavares will finish ahead of Dambos by 1/10 in P5. Zed Dambos in P6. Victor McFly, very difficult race for him. He's down in P7. Martino only a second off in the end. And I would assume fastest lap as well in P8. Pitbull was P9, and Maudi takes the final point paying position. So yeah, a good battle for the leads for the majority of the race. Nivellari and Sarat going at it for a while, and Kevin's sort of just watching on. Yeah, and as I said, kept his nose clean. Gets the job done.
Yeah, he was just rubbing his hands during that battle. He knew he didn't have to do anything. So then, the game gave Sarat driver of the day.
Who was your driver of the day?
Honestly, well, Victor McFly, after a difficult start, did an insane job to get those tyres to the end.
He did.
But
yeah.
I've got to say, Kevin. He's gained 6 positions off his starting grid. He's kept it clean, no penalties. With the pace of the leaders, he's just done the perfect job again.
I think it's, in a way, it's a bit of a mirror of the same race that we had in Netherlands. Sarat with a brilliant drive, but the penalties let him down in the end. And for me, cost him driver of the day as well. I would give that to Kevin. So yeah, Kevin is our driver of the day. If you guys want to let us know your driver of the day in the chat, who you think was the best tonight. I think Nivellari as well had a very strong race. You know, he led for most of it, and it was only the one penalty that let him down in the end.
That's true.
But yeah, still credit to Sarat. Great pace from the start. He had a great start. Even with the penalties, finished P4 from P11. I think it's a sort of what could have been for Victor McFly and Maudi. I think their pace looked very, very strong, and it's sort of just unwound during the race. I will just confirm Martin did get the fastest lap over Maudi by 4/10.
Yes, in the flow. He honestly looked the quickest of the leaders, especially at the stage in which he made that mistake. If he'd have just been a bit more patient, I'd love to have seen what he could have added to
Yeah.
that battle.
As for interviews tonight, not sure if we've actually got many. May just be STB Maudi for tonight, as it's the only one that we can get in. But yeah, we've run through your top 10. Your DNFs were LCR Typhon, Wazzy, Callum Frampton, FXBR Davi, Matty Banter, TSR Dangerman, and FXBR Enzo as well, who was very unfortunate. The game sort of bent him over, so I'm sure he'll be back stronger than ever for race in 2 weeks' time in Monaco. So for tonight, the only interview that we do have is STB Maudi. So Maudi, if you'd like to include your audio, I will give you a couple of questions. P10, it's points again, but I think it's definitely a race of what could have been. Your pace was looking very strong, and possibly on for a top 6. What happened in the incident?
Basically, well, my pace was looking really good, particularly turn 4. I had a great exit. Like, I was battling in pitbull, a great exit every single lap because I think I was using my overtake quite differently compared to the other drivers around me. So that was helping me get some good exits. And then turn 1, I just get on the curb on turn 2, and then it spins me around.
Obviously, as we said, you're going to be disappointed about the result tonight, but there's positives in the fact that, you know, the pace was really there. Is that something that you can take forward through the break and onto Monaco?
Well, I'm quite happy considering I didn't really do much preparation for this Grand Prix. I did the strategy work, but I didn't really work on my pace that much for the race. Monaco is just going to be a track where I'm just going to be able. I just want to do it and move on. It's my least favourite track on the calendar. And then we go to Azerbaijan, Canada, that sort of races. So after after Monaco, I should be up there, top 6, top 7.
And what race are you most looking forward to in the second half of the season?
The Hungarian Grand Prix.
Lovely. Well, thank you very much for joining us tonight, Maudi. But yeah, that wraps up. The Spanish Grand Prix in Tier 2. It's Kevin who takes the victory again. 3rd win of the season for him. He is running away with the championship at this point. Can anyone stop him? We'll have to find out in 2 weeks. We've got a week break next week. No races from either Tier 1 or Tier 2. But we will head to the Principality of Monaco in 2 weeks' time. So join us on that Monday for the Tier 1 race, and the Tier 2 race will follow on the Tuesday as usual. So thank you everybody who's joined us tonight. Thank you everybody who's watched the stream back as well, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.